Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. And first of all, I would like to thank you for the wishes you have given before the interview, and also like to say sorry for keeping you wait. Actually, মোৰ গা ভাল নাছিলে আৰু মই ৱেইট কৰি আছিলোঁ যে যেতিয়া ঘৰ পাই যাম ভালকৈ ভিডিঅ' বনাই শ্বেয়াৰ কৰিম এক্সপিৰিয়েঞ্চ. চ' আই এম বেক হোম and I will share my interview experience very honestly with you all. And even if it helps you in a smallest way, I will be happier. So just begin the day. Actually, it was first day was DV day, the document verification day. And some of you were asking me na what kind of documents other than some documents is required or not. So I would like to tell you that only those documents mentioned in the admit card is required, and you don't need any photos or identity card. But yeah, you can keep it with yourself to release some pressure नहीं होगा फिर बाद में. ठीक है. And next come is the IV day, interview day. My interview was on afternoon, in the afternoon. And I waited around 2 hours in the waiting hall, and there I met a few good people. Some of them are male and a few were female. And I met a lady, pregnant lady, came for the interview, and it was so inspiring to see her. I know I'm just deviating from the fact that I'm here to share my transcript, but this small incident made me very a bit emotional, also make me inspired. So I'm sharing this, okay? And sitting in the waiting hall, there are multiple newspapers and magazine you can read. So I also read some of the newspapers, just headlines, just went through the headlines. And also they offer you tea, kaju katli, and different kinds of biscuits. If you want, then you can have. Washroom and water is अवेलेबल देयर. मैंने कुछ भी यूज़ नहीं किया, बट हाँ ठीक है, आप कर सकते हो. एंड देन कम्स द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज़ दैट माई इंटरव्यू. सो अभी तक तो आप लोग सबको पता चल गया होगा कि हाउ द पैनल इज़ सिलेक्टेड और गिवन. इट वॉज रैंडम and I was allocated the panel 1. I would not name the chairperson name, but she was a female, and there were 2 other male person. This was my board. Okay, time taken was 20 to 21 minutes, and it was of course an afternoon session. Language I used in my interview, or they used in the interview, was both English and Assamese. English was major and Assamese a little bit. So I went in the room and greet them well. Good afternoon, sir and ma'am and sirs. And then they asked me the name and roll number. I told them. And after knowing my name, the first question they ask is a direct question actually, about my community, whether you are this or not. So I answered that yes, I am this, because I am non-Assamese. So this was a genuine question. I expected more on it, but they just asked one question, so it's okay, fine. And also I was expecting to start my IV with introduce yourself question, the conventional question to start any interview, but it was not asked to me. Mine was, tell me about your educational qualifications. So I told them from class 10th to graduation level, whatever I have done, everything. And then the question was, this was chairperson, ma'am was asking these questions. Then she asked me, if you are given the chance to work as a civil servant, which department would you prefer to work in? Then I answered it was education department. Then she asked why. I answered correctly, whatever in my capacity, not correctly, but whatever I feel I said there. And then she asked me, why do you what, it's not why actually, what would you do to improve this sector in your district? So I told them, this sector is for tea tribes and enrollment of tea tribes, and also the dropouts को कम करने के लिए, quality education के लिए वगैरह वगैरह. I told them everything. And then also I told some about health, improving the health, because once health is improved, education will be improved. I linked health and education there, so happens. And after that, male members they ask questions, but whatever question ma'am asked, I combined all of them in a one paragraph. Okay. She asked this question in the last. There's a rule now that even the passenger in the back seats of the car have to put the seat belts on. Which incident led to this development? I was not aware about. Actually, I have read about it, but at that moment I was unable to recall it. So I just ushered in just our Jhunjhunwala. Then ma'am said, "You are very close. Just guess a bit." So I was like, "No, ma'am, I am unable to recall." Then she said, "It's Cyprus mystery." So I thanked her for this. Again, then the member number 1, he asked me about many things. For the first question was, tell me about the status of health in Assam with right to MMR, maternal mortality rate, and IMR, infant mortality rate. And I told them everything which I know. I knew at that point of time. And then they asked me, after this question happens, then recently a MP is expelled from the parliament. Who is the person and why is he or she expelled? Okay. So I answered, and in this question I wrongly said Mahima Moitra. It is, and then the ma'am corrected, like, are you sure it's Mahima? Then I said, no, I'm sorry, it was Mahua Moitra. Then then she a bit smiled, but not much. ठीक है, ये हो गया. Then the sir asked about, tell me about the parliamentary committees. I told him. Then they linked, how does CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General help PAC, Public Accounts Committee? What is votes on account? Everything. Votes on account mein I got a bit confused, and then I asked for pardon. Then the person asked me, this is not serially, okay? अलग अलग चल रहा था. First ma'am asked a question, then a sir, then the second sir. इस हिसाब से चल रहा था. I'm just telling you that now, okay? Then he asked me, how is the orange production in your district? Orange is one of the main fruit in my district, okay? And it is one district, one product. It is part of it. So it was a genuine question, but I was not prepared because मेरे दिमाग में ही नहीं आया ये. Then I told whatever I knew a bit and asked for pardon. And then they asked me about hobbies. I was expecting more on the follow-up questions on the hobbies, but they didn't ask any. They just know my hobby and just okay with it. यही था. And then member 2, he asked me, when did you join NSS? I told him, and he was like, okay. मुझे समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा था उनके एक्सप्रेशन से कि क्या फील कर रहे हैं वो, बट ठीक है. Then he asked me, are you nervous? So I tell them honestly that yeah, a bit. Yes sir, I am nervous a bit. So he again replied to me that yeah, you should be, because it is important to be nervous in this interview. This is very a big opportunity kind of thing, he told me. Then asked, what is kangaroo court? And I was so dumb. I confused kangaroo court with kangaroo motion, which I studied in polity parliament wale session mein part mein. So I confused in my mind, so asked for pardon, and I said, ma'am, I have read, sir, I have read, but I am unable to recall it. Sorry, I will read it about it. ऐसे ऐसे करके मैंने बोल दिया. Then he asked me landmark constitutional development in the recent past. I told him about from repealing section decriminalization of section 377 to women reservation bill, everything मैंने बोला. Then so I told him everything, and in follow-up question they asked me one question which I forget to mention here, was from when would the Women Reservation Act will be implemented. So I said, in a hurry mode actually, I said in upcoming elections. So the member 2 sir said it's a very clever answer, and he smiled a bit, very less, but he smiled. Then ma'am asked ki, are you sure about it? Then I realized that no ma'am, it's not about in 2024. After 2026, when delimitation will be happened after on the basis of 2021 census, it will be it is most probably it will be implemented from the 2009 जनरल इलेक्शंस, ऐसे ऐसे मैंने बोला. देन दे वर लाइक हाँ ठीक है, नथिंग ठीक है. एक्चुअली कुछ मुझे नहीं पता चल रहा था उनके एक्सप्रेशन से. दे वर लाइक एकदम एक्सप्रेशनलेस. सो आई जस्ट एज्यूम इट वॉज अ ओके आंसर. Then the sir asked, which city is hosting the climate summit? I answered, everyone knows the answer. And what is it all about? And I answered this also. And he asked me, any development till date? So I told them about a bit of it, this loss and damage fund, about global stock take kind of thing. I told them. Then he asked about what is carbon tax. Then I replied. Then after they thanked me and wished me very all the best for the future, and just that was the interview done. This is what I have experienced in entire interview. So, and I after that I also thanked them and left the room very politely. Actually, my overall experience is okayish. Matlab not so good, not too bad, and not too good because I was expecting more question on ethical dilemmas, situation-based questions, and from international relations, which are the areas I'm good at. I'm actually better at. So, and these are the areas, na, ethical dilemmas are the areas where my genuine personality could have been showcased better. This is what I feel. But ठीक है, they didn't ask anything about it, and nothing related to hobbies, my district, nothing. And my district has many important places, historical, environmental, everything, but they didn't ask anything. I was disappointed a bit, but ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. And also the experience was not too bad because I was able to answer most of the question, though they were on unexpected lines. But yeah, one thing I must admit, that reaching this interview stage is a great thing in itself. ठीक है. People close to me know how unwell I was before and on the day of interview, but still I tried my best in those hours of pressure and anxiety. And yes, I am proud of myself for showcasing this courage. I hope this video has helped you in any way. And if you know anything, if you want to know anything, or if you would like to uh, suggest me anything, then you can suggest in the comment section. And if you ask me about my advice to you, the person who is going to appear in the upcoming days, then please be calm and be honest as much as possible, and do not bluff. বেছি কি কথা ক'ব নালাগে. যদি নাজানা, যদি আপুনি নাজানে কৈ দিলে হ'ব, মানে এনেকুৱা ক'লে হ'ব. মই এনেকুৱাই কৰিছোঁ. I don't know how it went because they were expressionless, as I told you all. So this was my experience, and thank you for watching, and thank you for the best wishes as well. And I wish you all the very best for the result, and for the interview as well, and the result as well. Thank you so much.